Good afternoon once again as we welcome you into the Anytime Auto Sales Service and Detail Broadcast booth. Sales, service, and side-by-sides. This is the J&J Truck and Auto Body pregame show for Game 2 presented by J&J Truck and Auto Body. For the highest quality work and hassle-free customer service, let J&J take away your stress. They will work with your insurance company and get your vehicle back on the road. That's J&J Truck and Auto Body on East Philadelphia Street in Rapid City. Game 4, the final game of this 4-game set between Watertown and Rapid City. And the Hardhats have taken all 3 games up to this point and improve to over 500 on the season. 6-5 their record, post 17 at 3-6 after the loss in Game 1 here today. An 8-0 victory for the Hardhats in game number 1. A masterful performance on the mound by Brian Atkinson, just 1 hit allowed. Palmer Jacobs finishing the deal with going 2 innings for himself and allowing just 1 hit as well. And slamming the door shut, and the Hardhats take the field for game 2. With Dylan Marsh taking the mound for the Hardhats. First game of the season for Dylan Marsh, and great to see number 16 back on the field for the Hardhats. Marsh battling an unlucky injury right before the start of the season. And took a foul ball. He was catching and took a foul ball off the wrist area, and given the green light to resume playing. So clear to play here today, and he takes the mound here on the final game of this 4-game set with Watertown. So no stats for Dylan Marsh on the mound or at the plate, and he will not hit for himself here today, just pitching on the mound for the Hardhats. Let's set the defense behind him, however. Riker Henney in left field, Zeke Farley in center field, Harrison Good in right field. On the infield, Peyton Tipton at the hot corner, Wilson Kiefer the shortstop, Amarian Saylor the second baseman, and Alex Dietrich the first baseman, with Jake Solano doing the catching for Dylan Marsh. As they tap the Hardhats around Dylan Marsh, we are just about set for game number 2 on this gorgeous afternoon for baseball here in Rapid City. I could not say that last weekend in Billings. We saw about all 4 seasons in Billings in game 2. Rain, snow, sun, everything. Dylan Marsh into his first windup as he faces Ryan Roby, and Roby squares the bunt, pulls back, and watches ball 1 miss outside. Underway for game number 2 at 2:38 local Mountain Time, and a 1-0 count on Roby. Marsh into the wind over his head, kicks and deals, and misses outside once again. 2 balls and no strikes, righty on righty matchup, and Ryan Roby, the center fielder defensively for Watertown. The wind and the 2-0, and Marsh misses about the same spot outside. 3 balls and no strikes to count. And the 3-0. Strike called, lower outside edge. And now 3 balls and a strike. Marsh finds the zone that time. 3-1 the count. Hitter friendly count for Roby. The wind and the 3-1. Foul back to the screen. 3-2. Roby, Rabine, and Altoff, the 3 scheduled in the opening half inning of play here in game 2. Marsh delivers and misses down and away. Ball 4 on the payoff pitch. So it's a leadoff walk given to Ryan Roby. Runner on first, plenty of speed. Left-handed hitting Marcus Rabine at the plate. See if he drops down a bunt. Watertown known to play small ball this season. He squares the bunt, pulls back. It's called a strike on the outside edge. Fastball from Marsh. No balls and a strike the count. Dietrich holding on the runner at first. From the stretch, Marsh. A bunt shown early, pulls back, and it's a called strike 2 on the outside edge. Rabine looking all around like, how was that a strike? But it's called strike 2. No balls and 2 strikes. Marsh to Rabine. Now to the head, Marsh takes a peek at first, comes set at the chest. A peek at first once again, sidesteps and delivers and misses outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Rabine at the hot corner of third base defensively. Nobody out and runner on first. Marsh checks on Roby at first. He dives back in safely. One ball, 2 strikes, the count on Rabine. He taps the plate on the left side once again. Solano sets up on the outside part, and Marsh hits it, but it was outside. 2-2 the count. The Bullets playing over in Gillette, Wyoming. 26-4 to the final. And just right across on the PA. Foul ball off the mask of Solano behind the plate. So Rabine stays alive. The 2-2 once again from Dylan Marsh. Delivers, breaking ball, tried the back door, missed. 3-2 now. Marsh in jeopardy of walking the first too many faces. Long look in, takes a peek at first, comes set. Ixandio's runner takes off. It's high and away for ball 4. Back-to-back walks to start off this ball game for Marsh. So Roby on second, Rabine aboard first. We did see the 3-bat try and drop down a bunt in game 1 of this 4-game set. 3-bat here is Ben Althoff, the designated hitter. 2 on, nobody out. Scoreless opening half inning. First pitch from Marsh to Althoff. He drops down a bunt and then spins foul up the third base line. So Althoff does drop down a bunt. Tried to drag bunt it and beat it out for a hit. Wouldn't be the first time Watertown has done that. Two on, nobody out, and 0-1 count for Althoff. Marsh likes the sign, and Althoff scores early this time. Drops down a bunt, fielded by Dietrich. He fires a third, scoop by Peyton Tipton, and the Hardhats get the lead base runner out at third. Score at 3-5, not 5-3, 3-5. In the scorebook, fielder's choice allows Althoff to reach. But Dietrich was crashing early with Althoff squaring early. Wouldn't be surprised to see another bunt signal on here with Cyrus at the plate. Dietrich playing in front of the base runner at first. Cyrus taps the plate on the right side. 1 out, and now Dietrich backs up behind the base runner. Marsh double takes back to second, sidesteps and deals, and pops it up out of play. 0-1 the count on Cyrus. Marsh looks into Solano, relaying the sign from the dugout. Rabine at second, Altoff aboard first. Marsh sidesteps and deals, and it's a foul ball off of Solano. Either way, it's 0-2. Looked like it might have been a cross-up of signs. No balls and 2 strikes on Jared Cyrus. Marsh delivers and scooped by Solano on the back end. Crossed his body. 1 ball, 1 strike, and now Solano will have a chat with Marsh. Once again, crossing up their signals with the runner on second, potentially. Want to make sure everyone's on the same page. And now Amarian Saylor comes in, make sure he's on the same page with everyone. And maybe give Dylan Marsh an opportunity to potentially throw back to second. A ball and 2 strikes on Jared Cyrus. Marsh set and delivers the 1-2. Cyrus thought about it, held back. It's 2-2. That one ended up down and away. No appeal asked for. Here's the 2-2. Bouncer foul. And might have clipped the ankle area of Jackson Mogg in the on-deck circle. It ends up in fair territory. So Dietrich had to chase it down. He's back behind the base runner at first. 2-2 the count. Marsh set with 1 out and 2 on. And breaking ball, this one lined into the left field corner. That'll drop for a base hit. It 2 bounces up against the wall. A run comes in to score. The throw comes in, and up to second goes Jared Cyrus. It's an RBI double as Rabine crosses the plate. Altoff to third, and Watertown has their first lead of the weekend. It's 1-0. Now Jackson Mogg. 2 on, in scoring position, still 1 out. Marsh kicks and deals and misses down and away. Ball 1. Mogg the starting pitcher in game 1 of this 4-game series. First at-bats here at the plate against the Hardhats. The 1-0 misses high and tight. 2 balls and no strikes. For Mogg at the plate, 3 at-bats, no hits, 3 strikeouts. And this one just got a piece of it on the 2-0. Becomes 2 balls and a strike. Marsh set once again, and the 2-1. Downstairs 3-1. Altoff at third. Cyrus at second after the RBI double. 1-0 Watertown. Set and a 3-1. inside ball 4, so Mogg draws a walk. Now Colby Locker with the bases loaded. Full of gold jerseys. One out, bases full. Locker, a no batting glove look on the right side. And first pitch, swing and a miss, 0-1. Altoff, Cyrus, and Mogg on the base pass. Quickly, the Hardhats send an arm down to the bullpen. Bouncer to left side. Tipton to second for one. Saylor to first. Scooped on the back end by Alex Dietrich. It's a 5-4-3 inning double play. And Watertown strikes for 1 run. It's 1-0 after 1/2 inning. Hardhats the bat for the first time here in Game 2. Right after this on Hardhats TV and Fox Sports Rapid City.
We are your community. We are your neighbors. Our family of doctors are invested in our community. At Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center, we are honored to help you along the journey from injury to recovery. You have a choice with Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center, specializing in what moves you.
Welcome back to the Anytime Auto Sales Service and Detail broadcast booth. Sales, service, and side-by-sides. Bottom of inning number 1, 1-0 Watertown, their first lead of the weekend. And Zeke Farley, Amarian Saylor, Riker Henny coming to the plate for the Hardhats against Brayton Zog. And Alex Dietrich, the first baseman, Harrison Good in right field, Wyatt Anderson, the designated hitter, Peyton Tipton at third, Jake Solano, the catcher, and Wilson Kiefer, the shortstop. The lineup built by Connect Home Center for the Hardhats. Right-handed hitting, Zeke Farley, and a chopper, a left side foul. 0-1 the count on Farley. For Brayton Zog, on the season, an even record, 1 game, 1 start. This is his second appearance and start. His second pitch misses outside, even count, 1 ball and 1 strike. And now the 1-1 misses high, 2 balls and a strike. And in that 1 appearance, 6 innings, 6 strikeouts, 5 walks. And Farley, a high fly ball to center field, a few steps back in his tracks. He can't get there. Roby has a bounce over his head. Farley rounds second. He heads for third, and he will be in there with a stand-up lead-off triple. And just like that, the Hardhats are in business, trailing 1-0, and in great shape to try and tie this game. Boy, that ball just kept on carrying on Ryan Roby. The wind is blowing that direction, basically straight out. And Roby backpedaling and just had it go over his head. Here's Amarian Saylor, first pitch, breaking ball, outside, ball 1. Runner on third, nobody out. Zog still working out of the windup, and he misses with a breaking ball outside. 2 balls and no strikes. Opponent's hitting 190 against Braden Zog. And Saylor, a high fly ball down the left field line. It's in fair territory by a step. Zeke Farley tags and scores easily from third. It's an RBI sacrifice fly to left field for Amarian Saylor. And the Hardhats have tied things up. It's 1-1 in the bottom of the first. For Amarian Saylor, that's RBI number 11. 10 coming into play. I believe he has a few more on this weekend. Here's Riker Henny, 1 out, nobody on base. 0-1 the count, called strike 1. And he bats from the right side and looks at a breaking ball high, 1 ball and 1 strike. Zog winds, and the 1-1 runs inside and hits Henny on the backside, or maybe in the wrist area. Henny was squatting in pain, and Coach Torvey calls him over to make sure he's all right. And he is showing that wrist area, his left wrist, as Paul Richter jogs over to assist. And feel around on that wrist area to make sure nothing is visually broken. Looked like it hit Henny on the back, but holding his wrist, his hand, his left hand. Shakes it off and will jog down to first. So a 1-out hit by pitch in this tie 1-1 ball game. Henny aboard first, Alex Dietrich, the new batter. Taps the plays twice on the right side. Zog from the stretch. For the first time, he kicks and deals, and Dietrich fouls it away, backing out of play. 0-1. Dietrich has upped his average this weekend, and he looks at ball 1 inside. Even count, 1 ball and 1 strike. Lots of 1s on the scoreboard outside of the at-bat number. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, 1 run in each of the first columns in inning number 1. 1 hit for both clubs and 1 run in the runs column. Now 2 balls and a strike as Dietrich looks at ball 2 outside. Zog pauses, kicks and deals, and misses outside. 3-1 now on Dietrich. Then he on first. Open stance on the right side. Dietrich ready for Zog's 3-1 pitch. Runner takes off and misses downstairs. That's ball 4. So a hit batter and a walk with 1 out after the triple to lead things off for the Hardhats. Here's Harrison Good, the right fielder. 2 men on base. Runners on first and second. First baseman Locker playing in front of the base runner, and a first pitch swung on and missed by Harrison Good. Down in the count he goes, 0-1. Hardhats trying to take the lead after surrendering their first lead in the opening half inning. But they will not trail for a full inning all weekend long. Harrison Good squared the bunt, kind of pulled back and then dropped it down, and He will be out at first. Both runners move up into scoring position. Now 2 outs. And the new batter will be the designated hitter, Wyatt Anderson. So Henny to third, Dietrich to second. 2 ducks on the pond in scoring position for Anderson. Game 1 off after dealing on the mound last night. 7 strikeouts against his first 7 batters faced. And 12 overall in 5 innings of work for Wyatt Anderson. Into the windup and the 0-1. Breaking ball down and away. 1 ball and 1 strike. Tied at 1, 2 gone. Hardhats threatening though, with 2 in scoring position, the 1-1. And Anderson pops it up. Foul territory, it'll reach the seats out of play. And about 4 rows deep. A young fan gains a souvenir. The 1-2 to Anderson, strike 3 called, breaking ball right across the plate, froze Anderson, and that's out number 3. So the Hardhats tie things up. A triple and a sacrifice fly, and we're knotted up at 1 after 1. To the second we go, right here on Hardhats TV and Fox Sports Rapid City. Welcome back to the Anytime Auto Sales Service and Detail broadcast booth. Sales service and side-by-sides. Knotted at 1 after 1 on the State Farm scoreboard. Insured by agents Scott Carlson and Matt McCormick. Dylan Marsh back to the hill and misses low for ball 1. Skipped in the turf. Against Carson Muchler, the catcher. The 1-0, fly ball, right field. Harrison Good moves back. He's underneath of it now and makes the grab for out number 1. Routine fly ball for Harrison Good, and now the shortstop, Will Engstrom. Reliever still warming in the bullpen, looks to be ready. Should Dylan Marsh run into trouble. That was his 30th pitch. Here's 31, and it's a little blooper right side, but out of play. No balls in to strike the count on Engstrom. 7, 8, and 9 due up for post 17. Marsh toes the rubber, 1 foot on the rubber on the third base side. Winds and deals, and right past him on the mound. Kiefer scoops and fires the first in time for out number 2. A nice play by the Hardhats shortstop. Number 2, the left fielder now, number 4, Trevin Rodden. And now Trevin Rodden. Ron steps in on the right side, 2 outs, nobody on. Marsh winds, kicks, steals. Rodden drops down a bunt. Marsh off the mound, fields himself, fires the first, a low throw, but snagged on the back end by Alex Dietrich. 3 up, 3 down. A very quick inning for Dylan Marsh. And the Hardhats are sent back to the bats in their half of the second. Tied at 1, back in the moment, right here on Hardhats TV and Fox Sports Rapid City.
Gunderson, Palmer, Nelson, and Ashmore has provided a full range of legal services for over 40 years in Rapid City. As one of the largest and highly respected law firms in western South Dakota and multi-state region, our expert team of diversified attorneys offer a very personalized style of legal representation. Whether it's support and recommendations with legal documents or the strongest proponent in a court of law, trusting who you hire as your advocate is vital in achieving the best results. Contact the experienced professionals today at Gunderson, Palmer, Nelson, and Ashmore Attorneys at Law.
Welcome back to the Anytime Auto Sales Service and Detail broadcast booth. Sales service and side-by-sides. Bottom of inning number 2. And the Hardhats and the Post 17 all knotted up at 1 apiece. Peyton Tipton steps in, 7, 8, 9 due up for the Hardhats. Tipton, Solano, and Kiefer. Tipton bats from the right side, looks at ball 2. It's skipped in front of the plate. 2 balls and no strikes to count. Game 4 of this 4-game set. Doubleheaders both yesterday and today, and Tipton watches ball 3, missed down and away. 3-0 to leadoff man here for the Hardhats in the second. Tap to the plate on the right side, Braden Zog. Winds, kicks, steals, and a 3-0. Called strike. Tipton taking all the way on that one. Ready once again for the 3-1. Here it is, and the 3-1. Pop foul. Hooked foul. Left side. Over into the parking lot area on the left side. Looks like some tree removal on that side of the parking lot. The payoff pitch to Tipton. Outside, ball 4. Peyton Tipton draws a leadoff walk in the second. Now Jake Solano. Solano steps in on the right side. Had game 1 off with Phil Bentz doing the catching. Caught both games yesterday. First pitch to Solano. He swings away and fouls it away out of play. 0-1. Tied at 1. 1 hit aside for both clubs. Zog set. Wind gusting against him, and he steps off as Tipton was ready to take off for second. Decent lead for Tipton at first now. Zog ready and delivers a called strike on Solano, now 0-2. Solano a shoulder width stance with the 2 strikes. His hands right next to his right ear. And Tipton is checked on at first. back in safely. No balls and 2 strikes the count on Jake Solano. Zog shakes off the sign. Still looking in, now likes the sign, a peek at Tipton. Stays put, the ball is in the turf. Muchler blocked it, but Tipton read it well, and he will take second on the wild pitch. So a ball and 2 strikes on Solano. Zog a peek at second, here's the 1-2. Just got a piece of that one. Fouled it back to the screen. Now 1-2, the count remains. Zog delivers the 1-2. Breaking ball inside. 2-2 now. Even count, 2 balls and 2 strikes, nobody out. Runner at second is Peyton Tipton. And Zog will step off. It's the shortstop, Engstrom, holding on Tipton. So Engstrom has to pop off of the second base bag, as that one scoots through the wickets of Muchler, and up to third goes Tipton. A wild pitch. So the walk results in a man at third base now. Still nobody out, and a 3-2 count. Brayton Zog to Jake Solano. Here's the payoff pitch. And Solano chops it up the first base line. It's rolling, and it will roll foul. Tipton took off on contact to try and score. He would have scored had that ball stayed fair. Three and two once again. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Zog kicks and deals the 3-2, swung on and missed, and down goes Solano swinging out number 1.
Number 15, Wilson Kiefer.
Second strikeout for Brayton Zog. Now Wilson Kiefer. First cracks at it here in the final game of this set. Watertown brings the infield in now. And the first pitch to Kiefer misses down and away, ball 1. Tied at 1, infield in for Watertown. Hoping for a weak contact to cut the runner off at the plate, and Kiefer swings through, pitch up in the zone. Muchler also just missed it and hit the mask of our home plate umpire. Didn't look like Kiefer got a piece of it. Muchler will take some time to talk with Zog. Maybe a cross-up of signs, and just give our home plate umpire a couple of moments to regather himself. The 1-1. Swung on and missed. Kiefer swung at a ball that ended up in the turf, blocked by Muchler. Runner at third, that's the go-ahead run. 1 out, infield still in. Zog marks out of the wind. Here's a 1-2. Skips that one in front of the plate and blocked by Muchler. Even count 2-2. The 2-2. Breaking ball just missed high and maybe outside as well. Now 3-2 on Wilson Kiefer. Righty on righty, payoff pitch. Brayton Zog to Wilson Kiefer, here it is. And misses high and tight. Wilson Kiefer draws a walk. And puts runners on the corners now with 1 gun. And now the top of the Hardhats lineup, Zeke Farley. Farley drove one to deep center field that just carried in the wind. His first trip, and Coach Neal signaling to back up. First pitch to Farley, blocked in the turf by Muchler to throw down to second. Not in time as Kiefer read the play well. So 2 men in scoring position now, 1 out. Infield brought in once again. The double play no longer in effect. The 1-0. Skipped in front of the plate. This one gets away from Muchler. Here comes Tipton to the plate. He crosses the plate. And up to third goes Kiefer. It's 2-1 Hardhats. Zog has been a little bit wild on the mound, and it's proven dividends here in inning number 2. A couple of walks and wild pitches. Farley fouls one off the screen behind him. 2 balls and a strike. Now on Farley. And another one chopped right at the plate. Two and 2 on Farley with 1 out. Infield still in for Watertown. 2-1, Hardhats leading. Zog into the windup. The 2-2, breaking ball. This one lined into center field. That drops for a base hit. Zeke Farley, an RBI single. And he makes it 3-1 Hardhats. Not doing too much with that one. A slow breaking ball. And taking it right back where it came from. A bloop single into center field. Kiefer scores easily. Now Marion Saylor. And this one skips in the turf. Muchler couldn't handle it, and up to second goes Farley. Another wild pitch, and Carson Muchler has had to work hard behind the plate. Adjust his leg gear for the 1-0 to Saylor. From the stretch, Zog sidesteps and delivers a straight steal of third. The high throw down to third, and safe at third is Farley. Boy, almost a perfect pitch out. Kind of breaking ball, and Zeke Farley swipes third. Two balls and no strikes on Saylor. With 1 out, infield brought in once again. Here's the 2-0. And a big swing and a miss. 2-1. Seen the infield in with 3 straight batters. The 2-1 blocked by Muchler. This time in front of him. 3 balls and a strike on Saylor. And if you put Amari and Saylor on, would have to suspect Saylor would try to swipe second base. Here's a 3-1 wind from Zog, and it misses high, ball 4, and just like that, Saylor is put on first base. Still without an official at-bat, a sacrifice fly his first trip, and an RBI, and then now the walk. So Riker Henny at the plate, runners on the corners for now. Locker holding on Saylor at first. Defense in double play depth Runner takes off, the pitch is in the turf, and there will be no throw. Straight steal for Amarian Sailor. I hope that the pitch was in the turf. And Muchler, no chance. Both runners in scoring position. Defense brought in once again. And the 2-1 gets away from Muchler, goes back to the backstop. Here comes Farley. He crosses the plate. Sailor to third. It's 4-1 Hardhats. Two and all the count for Riker Henny. Outfield shading towards the left center field gap. Lots of space down the left field line. And Henny looks at a called strike. Fastball across the belt. 2 balls and a strike. The 2-1 popped up, a foul behind the plate, out of play. 2-2 now on Henny. Kind of went after a high fastball that time. Made contact to even count. The wind and the 2-2 high and tight, 3-2. Payoff pitch coming to Riker Henny. Infield still in to try and get the speedy Sailor, who stands 90 feet away at third. The payoff to Henny. Bouncer, slow chopper, and an underhand flip to the catcher, and Amarian Sailor is safe. It was off the glove of Muchler. Sailor kind of held up, not wanting to collide with Muchler, and he was kind of in the baseline, but after Muchler had to tap off his glove, Sailor went right through his legs and touched the plate. It's 5-1 Hardhats. Will be a fielder's choice that allowed Henny to reach. Here's Alex Dietrich. And the first pitch is Dietrich. High, ball 1. Zog from the stretch once again. And down and in, blocked by Muchler. It's wrote an error on the catcher, Muchler, but I would call that just a fielder's choice play. It was a scoop with the glove for the pitcher, Zog, and those are difficult to time up because you hold it until the last second with the underhand scoop, and no matter how far away you are, and it's even harder when you're 2 feet from the person you're trying to get it to. That's what happened. 2 balls and no strikes the count on Alex Dietrich. He walked his first trip. Runners on, just 1 runner on first base, that's Riker Henny. Already 4 runners coming across here in the second inning. Mound visit concludes with the Watertown assistant. Zog sidesteps and delivers and misses well in front of the plate. 3-0. Not able to get his release point on par. 3 balls and no strikes the count. Here's the pitch to Dietrich, and taking all the way right across the belt. Hits the zone. 3-1. No panic. 3 balls and a strike. 5-1 Hardhats. Runner takes off for second and misses inside, and Dietrich draws a walk. Second walk of the ball game, and now signal to the Watertown bullpen. We'll have a new arm coming in with 1 out here in the second. And Harrison Good coming to the plate with 2 on and 1 out. We'll see who that new arm is and be right back here on Hardhats TV and Fox Sports Rapid City. Welcome back to the Anytime Auto Sales Service and Detail Broadcast booth. Sales service and side-by-sides. The new arm on the mound is Weston Everson, as he pitches in back-to-back games. And looking at the box score of last game, game 1 here today, see how many pitches, just 22 pitches for Everson in game 1. Cyrus threw 104 pitches. 2 on, 1 out. Everson misses inside to Harrison Good. And a fake move back to second, Henny in standing up. 5-1 our score. We're only in the second inning. Harrison Good, a sacrifice bunt his first trip. And that one runs high and tight. He has to duck out of the way of that one, aimed at his head. Two 2-0 the count. Everson to Good. And the breaking ball called strike right across the plate. 2 balls and a strike. Good followed by Wyatt Anderson, barring a double play ball. And Good swings through the 2-1. Now even count 2-2. Everson, a right-hander. Does the rubber on the third base side. Sidesteps and delivers, and that one misses inside. 3-2. Set once again, and the payoff. Everson to Good, and it's chop foul hard off the front of the Hardhats dugout. Still 3-2. Signs relayed by the shortstop Engstrom. Playing opposite up the middle. Payoff pitch, high and tight, and 1 out walk, part of back-to-back walks. First man against Everson, draws a base on balls, and now the 9th man sent to the plate this inning. It's Wyatt Anderson. From the windup, Everson lines, and this one a high fly ball, high and deep into the left field corner. That ball is gone. A grand slam on the very first pitch for Wyatt Anderson, and he knew it right off the bat. Way over the 325 sign, and Mix Electric in left field. 4-run home run for Wyatt Anderson, a grand slam. Just like that, though, Hardhats have broke this ball game open. An empty base paths now for Peyton Tipton. No doubt about that one, and Anderson will sign his name on the helmet. And this one driven to right center field. Peyton Tipton has a fly ball that goes over the head of Jackson Mogg and two bounces the wall. Tipton rounds second. He heads for third, and he's in there with a stand-up triple. Looked like Mogg was underneath of it and then just lost it, maybe in the sun, or the ball just kept on carrying on him into the winds. And Tipton ends up at third base with a triple. Here's Jake Solano, still with one out. Another man 90 feet away. 9-1 Hardhats. And Solano swings through the first pitch, 0-1. Just the second home run hit for the Hardhats, the first to leave the yard. An inside the park home run in game one today by Amarian Saylor, and that grand slam. And Solano, fly ball right field, that gets past Mogg and goes into the corner. And Solano digs for third base. He will be held up there. It's an RBI triple for Jake Solano. The Hardhats tack on another. It's 10-1. Solano swaps places with Peyton Tipton. Don't say that too often about back-to-back triples. Here's Wilson Kiefer, a walk and a run scored his first trip, and signal to the bullpen for Watertown once again. New arm coming to face Wilson Kiefer. 10-1 our score here, still in the second. Back in a moment, right here on Hardhats TV and Fox Sports Rapid City.
New pitcher, 12-17, number 16, Chase Christensen.
Welcome back to the Anytime Auto Sales Service and Detail broadcast booth. Sales, service, and side-by-sides. We're still in the bottom of the second inning. And 9 runs already across the plate in this inning for the Hardhats. They lead 10-1 over Watertown. As a new arm on the mound, the third of this inning for Watertown. And the new arm on the mound is Chase Christensen. Christensen pitched last night. And the right-hander steps off before the first pitch. The right-handed bat of Wilson Kiefer. Runner on third, that's Solano, one gun. Set from the stretch, kicks and deals, and Kiefer lines one off the netting right above the Hardhats dugout. Everyone ducking for cover after that one. 0-1. Set in the 0-1 to Kiefer, bounces in front of the plate, blocked by Muchler. 1 ball, 1 strike, breaking ball that time. One ball, 1 strike. Here's the 1-1, and it misses low. Once again blocked by Muchler. 2 balls and a strike. Christensen set at the chest, sidesteps and delivers, and the breaking ball misses inside. 3-1. Top of the order for the Hardhats. Zeke Farley on deck. Solano at third. And the 3-1 to Kiefer. Inside, ball 4. Kiefer draws a walk. And the lineup card will flip over for Zeke Farley. Runners on the corners. Double play defense for Watertown. Tap to the plate on the right side. Discussion with Coach Neal and our home plate umpire. As Farley looks at ball 1 high. 1 ball, no strikes to count. Farley, 2 for 2, a triple and a run scored, and a single run scored. RBI single at that. 1-0, a high fly ball, left field, back is Rodden, to the track, to the wall, and he makes the grab on the warning track. Solano tags and scores. It's 11-1 Hardhats, as Farley just misses a home run right up against the shield sign in left field. And they'll say Solano left early on the appeal, so that's a double play. The second inning is over. 10-1 our score as we head to inning number 3. Back in a moment on Hardhats TV and Fox Sports Rapid City. Welcome back to the Anytime Auto Sales Service and Detail broadcast booth. Sales service and side-by-sides. 10-1, the advantage for the Hardhats on the State Farm scoreboard, insured by agents Scott Carlson and Matt McCormick. And Dylan Marsh back to the mound for the Hardhats. 9 runs coming across in that second inning against Watertown for the Hardhats. And Watertown's lead did not last long. Hardhats saw 3 pitchers in that second inning: Braden Zog, Weston Everson, and Chase Christensen. And it'll be the top of the post 17 lineup to lead things off against Marsh. And Marsh misses high with a fastball, ball 1. Ryan Roby walked his first trip Marsh into the wind. The 1-0 misses down and away. 2 balls and no strikes. Coach Clapperidge might have talked to Marsh, trying to limit his movement in his windup. The 2-0. A strike across the belt. Called strike 1. 2 balls and a strike. Marsh went over his head in the windup. And now up against his right ear, just holding the ball right there along with his glove. A bouncer to short. Kiefer fires the first in time. Out number 1. One up, one gone, and Marcus Rabine, the new batter. A walk and a run scored. The lone run scored for Watertown here today. Marsh kicks and deals, and it's a called strike 1 right across the knees. 0-1. Marsh winds, kicks, deals. The 0-1. Foul tipped off the screen. 0-2. Del Marsh didn't pitch last season a little bit. He's into the windup and the 2-strike pitch. Misses down and away. And for Marsh, pull up his numbers from last season. On the mound, he went 20 innings, made 9 appearances and 1 start, and that one swung on and missed. And down goes Rabine, swinging for out number 2. Forward on the breaking ball from Marsh. Two up, 2 gone. Ben Altoff, the new batter. So over those 9 appearances, 20 innings. A 2-2 record, 1 save as well. While 29 runs, 23 earned. 10 strikeouts, 8 walks. Marsh misses outside for ball 1. An 8.05 ERA. The 1-0 to Altoff. Chop foul by the Watertown dugout. Altoff reached on a fielder's choice his first trip. Marsh winds and deals, and that one runs inside and hits him. Right on the knee or thigh area. And look to phase Altoff, and he's a catcher. Tough as they come. Hit batter with 2 outs, puts a base runner on for Watertown. Marsh from the stretch. Sidesteps and deals, and this one popped up foul territory, right side. Long run for Harrison, good, and he runs out of room as that one bounces into the bullpen area. Oh, and 1 the count on Jared Cyrus. An RBI double his last trip and only trip thus far. Check on the runner at first as Altoff dives back in. Marsh comes set. Kicks and deals, and the 0-1 swung on and missed. Now 0-2. Marsh likes a sign from Solano, comes set at his chest. Here's the 0-2, and it runs inside, just about hit Cyrus. Had some light break on it. One ball, 2 strikes to count. Here's the 1-2. Swung on and missed. Jared Zyrus goes down swinging, and that's out number 3. So after 2.5, the Hardhats are sent back to the bats, leading 10-1. Back in a moment on Hardhats TV and Fox Sports Rapid City.
Duo Coach 22 between Orange Sailor Ryder Henny and Alex Dietrich.
Welcome back to the Anytime Auto Sales Service and Detail Broadcast booth. Sales service and side-by-sides. 10-1, the advantage for the Hardhats on the State Farm scoreboard, insured by agents Scott Carlson and Matt McCormick. And to the bottom of inning number 3, 2, 3, and 4 for the Hardhats, due up against Chase Christensen. And Martin Saylor looks at ball 1 in front of the plate. 1 ball, no strikes. Looks like Nate Kindred will hit in place of Riker Henny. 1-0 runs inside and hits Sailors, so he's aboard first with nobody out. Now Nate Kindred checks in. He's in left field defensively in place of Riker Henny. 29 for 25. And Kindred taking his first hacks of the weekend.
Pitcher number 29, Nate Kindred.
First pitch to Kindred, popped up left side, foul territory, and just beyond the Hardhats dugout. So 0-1, breaking ball misses inside. 1 ball, 1 strike on Kindred. On the season for Nate Kindred, kind of has fell into the closer role on the mound. And Kindred lines 1 foul left side. About 3 feet foul. And a smile on his face as some grief given by the Hardhats dugout. Ball and 2 strikes on Kindred. Tall right-hander. Christensen delivers, and Kindred flies 1 to center field underneath of it. Roby makes the grab, out number 1. Now Alex Dietrich. Dietrich steps in on the right side. And Christensen will step off before the first pitch. Looks in, comes set. First pitch to Dietrich, misses it inside, down and in. Saylor aboard first. being held on at first with 1 out. Would not suspect Sailor to be running with a 9-run advantage. No reason to risk an injury. Next pitch to Dietrich, called a strike. A breaking ball caught the knees. 1 ball, 1 strike. Christensen delivers, and the 1-1 runs inside and hits him on the backside. Dietrich jogs down to first. A couple of hit batters with a fly out mixed in between. And it puts runners on first and second. Brings up Harrison Good. Good, a sacrifice bunt and a walk and a run scored. He asked for time before Christensen comes set. Righty on the right side once again. 2 on, 1 out, 10-1 Hardhats. Chopper up to third base line. And foul. Owen won the count on Harrison Good. And that one bounces in front of the plate. Looks like a team from Spearfish moving into the ballpark, ready to play their games this afternoon. And a breaking ball called strike 2, a nice slow breaking ball. 1 ball and 2 strikes to count on Harrison Good. 2 on, 1 out. Here's the 1-2. Breaking ball skipped in front of the plate. 2-2. Two balls and 2 strikes to count on Good. Christensen set. Here's the 2-2, and just got a piece of it chopped out. Team from Spearfish meeting in the middle. With someone this afternoon. Good. Goes down looking at called strike 3, breaking ball. Inside corner, and that's out number 2. Backwards K in the book. Out number 2. Here's Wyatt Anderson, a grand salami. His last trip to the plate. Over the left field wall. And he swings through the first pitch, breaking ball from Christensen. 0-1. Sailor at second, Dietrich at first. Christensen set, and the 0-1. And that one runs inside and hits Wyatt Anderson right on the helmet, and he's rolling around in pain. Hate to see that. Might have caught right where the helmet does not protect. And Anderson down in pain. Pitcher Christensen coming in immediately to check on Anderson. And Coach Torvey giving him a pat on the chest. Making sure he's all right. Anderson's still down. Talking to Paul Richter. And Anderson up. Now he's sitting up now. Umpires checking on the senior. And I guess Anderson will come out of this ball game. And he will walk his way over to the dugout. So Anderson, the designated hitter, will be replaced by maybe Kai Jackson. Nope, Jed Jensen.
Jed Jensen will be the pinch runner at first base.
So Jensen will pinch run. It'll be bases loaded, 2 outs. And Peyton Tipton, the new batter. Really hope Wyatt Anderson's all right. Walked away himself to the Hardhats dugout under his own power. First pitch to Peyton Tipton in the turf, blocked by Muchler. Hate to see anyone get hurt, especially when the ball game is 10-1, much less any time. See anybody get hurt. This one, foul ball into the crowd, and an even count for Peyton Tipton, 1 ball and 1 strike. Bases full for the Hardhats. 2 outs. Christensen set. 1-1, breaking ball, line drive over the glove of the leaping third baseman Rabine into left field. 2 runs come across to score, and 12-1 the advantage for the Hardhats as Saylor and Dietrich come in. To second goes Jensen. Now Jake Solano. So it's a 2-run single for Peyton Tipton. And Solano looks that ball 1 low. Tipton is 2 for 2. Single and a triple. 2 runs scored, also a walk. 1-0. Solano ducks out of the way of that one. 2 balls and no strikes to count. Next pitch chopped off the foot of Solano and rolls into fair territory. It is a foul ball. Solano up on his own feet. 2 balls and a strike to count. Two on, 2 outs for the Hardhats. Inning number 3, 12-1 advantage for post 22. And the next pitch to Solano outside, ball 3. Two taps to the plate. Christensen set once again in the 3-1. Runs inside, ball 4. Solano draws the walk. And all bases loaded for Wilson Kiefer, still 2 men out. Jensen at third, Tipton at second, Solano aboard first. First pitch to Kiefer, bounces in front of the plate, gets away from Muchler. Not far enough though. Jensen will hold up. Kiefer, a pair of walks drawn in this ball game. Runs scored in the second. Walked twice actually in that second inning. Next one, a line drive foul. Right past Coach Torvey. 1-1 the count on Kiefer. And And the 1-1, high and tight. Kiefer ducks out of the way of that one. Two balls and a strike now. And Kiefer looks at ball 3 low. Three balls and a strike, nowhere to put him. Bases full of Hardhats. Out of 3-1 to Kiefer. Called strike across the belt, now 3-2. Here's the payoff, and it runs inside and hits him. A bases loaded hit by pitch. Would have been ball 4. Jensen comes in to score. 13th run to come across. 13-1. Advantage for the Hardhats. Tipped into third, Solano to second. Now Zeke Farley, another 9 men sent to the plate in the inning for the Hardhats, and a new arm coming to the mound for Watertown. Back in a moment, right here on Hardhats TV and Fox Sports Rapid City. Welcome back to the Anytime Auto Sales Service and Detail Broadcast booth. Sales service and side-by-sides. The new arm on the mound is Marcus Rabine, as the Hardhats send a pinch hitter at the plate. And that's Colby Denke. And what presumably will be Denke taking over in center field for Farley. First pitch from Rabine, skips in front of the plate, ball 1. Bases full, 2 outs. Denke is first at bat. And Denke chops one foul over by Marion Saylor in the on-deck circle. One ball, one strike the count. Rabine kicks and deals, and Denke flares this one foul, about by 2 feet foul. And it's a 1 ball, 2 strike count on Denke. Base is still 4-2 gone. Rabine into the wind, and the 1-2. Chopper past Rabine to short. He flips it underhand to second for out number 3. So finally, the inning is over. After 3 more runs come across. It's 13-1 Hardhats. And we head to the 4th right after this on Hardhats TV and Fox Sports Rapid City.
Brought to you from the Baseball Broadcasting Booth. your 50-50 tickets out. 50-50 drawing, presented by Kennex Home Center. Starting cost today $250. The winning number for $109.
And I guess we'll keep it right here on Fox Sports Rapid City.
Number is 316-890.
Dylan Marsh coming back to the mound for the Hardhats, a 13-1 advantage. Watertown with a long trip back home across the state, one end to the other, just about. But still a gorgeous day for baseball. And for those watching on Hardhats TV, you can see it well, crisp blue skies here in Rapid City. Marsh throwing his warm-up pitches. So 1 run, 1 hit, 1 error for Watertown. On their side, 13 runs, 7 hits, no errors for the Hardhats. As we are set to begin inning number 4. First batter of the 4th, Jackson Mogg. Mogg bats from the right side against Marsh. First pitch, inside, ball 1. Marsh winds, kicks, deals the 1-0. Outside, 2 balls and no strikes. Jackson Mogg walked his only trip and was out in a 5-4-3 inning ending double play to end the first inning, what seems like forever ago. Marsh misses outside. 3 balls and no strikes now. The wind and the 3-0, strike across the belt, 3-1. Mogg, Walker, and Muchler. 3 scheduled. And strike 2 called on the inside edge. Payoff pitch. Dylan Marsh. Jackson Mogg, and on a foul ball off of Jake Solano. Catcher getting beat up a little bit. That one might have been off his foot, I believe. And now Solano will walk to the dugout. And Jake Solano will have to come out of this ball game. So I presume Phil Bentz will come in and catch. He already has his gear on and jogs out behind the plate. So Hardhats just trying to avoid any more injuries as they're leading 13-1.
New catcher will be number 21, Phil Bentz.
Phil Bentz is the new catcher. Marsh looks into him now. Into the wind and the payoff pitch misses down and away. Ball 4, a leadoff walk in the 4th.
Batter number 20, Colby Walker.
Here's Colby Locker. Walker bats from the right side. Runner on first, nobody out. First pitch, swung on and missed, 0-1. Walker bounced into a 5-4-3 inning-ending double play to end the first frame. And Walker looks at a called strike 2 at the knees. 0-2. Marsh looks into Denke. He sets up and away. And Lucker bounces one to third once again. To second for one. Saylor to first. A scoop on the back end by Dietrich. Another 5-4-3 double play. Just like that, 2 outs here in the fourth. Tipped in to Saylor to Dietrich. Now Carson Muchler, the catcher, has had to work behind the plate. And Marsh misses a touch below the knees. 1 ball, no strikes. And this one's popped foul. Out of play. 1 ball, 1 strike to count. The 1-1 from Marsh runs inside and stays inside. Ball 2. This one popped, foul territory, right side, this time out of play. Marsh winds, kicks, deals, and the 2-2. Outside and low. Now 3-2. Marsh winds and a payoff. Right back to Marsh on the mound. He snags it, runs it, and 3/4 of the way underhand, flips it to Dietrich, and that's out number 3. So a nice play by Dylan Marsh. Shows off his shortstop infield defensive ability, and that's out number 3. We head to the bottom of the fourth. Back in a moment right here on Hardhats TV and Fox Sports Rapid City. And side by sides, bottom of the fourth, and a 13-1 advantage for the post 22 Hardhats here against Watertown. Post 17. Marcus Rabine back to the mound for Watertown. Hardhats send Amarian Saylor, Nate Kindred, and Alex Dietrich to the plate in their half of the fourth. Post 17 led in this ball game at one point, 1-0 in the first inning. Hardhats immediately countered with one of their own and a 9 spot in the second. 3 more in the third for the Hardhats as Saylor looks at ball 1 low. 1 ball, no strikes to count. The 1-0 Swung on and missed. Kind of a half swing, but they say he went around. Our home plate umpire says that. Didn't need to ask for an appeal. The 1-1. Breaking ball misses up and away. Now 2 balls and a strike. Rabine winds, kicks, deals, and hits the zone for a called strike 2. The 2-2. Breaking ball fouled back and out of play. Still an even count. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Leadoff man here in the Hardhats 4th. Rabine winds, kicks, deals, the 2-2. Strike 3 called, outside edge, and Saylor goes down looking for out number 1. Here's Nate Kindred. First pitch misses low, ball 1. Kindred fly to center, his only trip to the plate. The 1-0. Line drive to left field. It'll hang up and into the glove of Rodden. And that's out number 2. Two outs. Here's Alex Dietrich. Nobody on base. And our first pitch strike called on Dietrich at the knees. 0-1. Ball 1 misses low. 1 ball, 1 strike. Rabine into the line, the 1-1. Fly ball, right field, long run for Jackson Mogg, and he gives away to Ryan Roby in center field. That's out number 3. So to the top of the 5th inning we go. And Watertown trailing 13-1. 3 outs to try and score 3 runs to extend this ball game right here on Hardhats TV and Fox Sports Rapid City. Welcome back to the Anytime Auto Sales Service and Detail Broadcast Booth, sales service and side-by-sides. And a new arm on the mound for the Hardhats. I believe that'll be Jude Sears. Double check with that. It is Jude Sears in place of Dylan Marsh. Sears tasked with the 5th inning. And a 13-1 advantage for the Hardhats. Will Engstrom, Trevin Rodden, and Ryan Roby are the 3 scheduled. Right-hander delivers, and it's a called strike 1 on Will Engstrom. for Jude Sears on the season. This is his third appearance. He's gone 3 innings. A bouncer left side, high hop to Peyton Tipton, fires across in time, out number 1. His last outing, 2 1/3, 3 hits, 3 runs, only 1 earned. 2 walks and 1 strikeout. Overall, 3 hits, 4 runs, 2 earned. 4 walks and 1 strikeout, a 4.67 ERA. And Sears misses inside, ball 1. The 1-0, swung on and missed. Fastball at the top of the zone. Sears lost his hard hat. 1 ball, 1 strike on Rodden. The 1-1, swung on and missed. Now 1-2. Bases empty, 1 out. The 1-2, breaking ball, swung on and missed. Phil Bentz will fire down to first in time, out number 2. And post 17, down to potentially their final out here in Rapid City. Tap to the plate on the right side, Ryan Roby. Center fielder is 0 for 1. He also walked. A bouncer right back to Sears on the mound. He picked up his hard hat, but now runs 3/4 of the way to first. Underhand flip to Dietrich, and that's the ball game. 13-1 in 5 innings. A 10-run rule victory for the Hardhats. And the Hardhats sweep Watertown 4 for 4 in the ball games here in Rapid City. We'll take a 30-second step aside and come back for our Pioneer Bank and Trust post-game show right after this on Hardhats TV and Fox Sports Rapid City. Welcome to the Pioneer Bank and Trust post-game show. Pioneer Bank and Trust is proud to support local sports, and they want to be your trusted partner for all your banking needs. Pioneer Bank and Trust is local. Visit pioneerbankandtrust.com. 13-1, the 10-run rule victory in 5 innings for the Plus 22 Hardhats over Watertown here in Game 4 of this 4-game set. So the Hardhats sweep Watertown, going 4 for 4 this weekend, and the Hardhats improve to 7-5 on the season. 2 games above 500 heading to Gillette on Wednesday. So for the Hardhats, a quick rundown of the box score here for Game 2. 1 run apiece in both of each team's first inning. For Watertown, they got on the board, and for Post 22, they immediately countered, and in a big 9-run second inning with a big telltale sign for this ball game here. 9 runs come across in that second inning, 3 more in the third, and that's all this one needed, as both teams failed to score in both the 4th and the 5th. None needed for the Hardhats. 13-1 the victory. 1 run, 1 hit, 1 error for Watertown. For Post 22, 13 runs, 6 hits, no errors for the Hardhats, and a big momentum building weekend for this young Hardhats club. And Today's player of the game for Game 2, sponsored by Claiborne, Los, and Sabres. Whether it's divorce, injury, or a business dispute, when you need someone to step up for you, the law office at Claiborne, Los, and Sabres is always ready. Just Google Claiborne, Los, and Sabres in Rapid City. Game 2's player of the game, I'll give it to Peyton Tipton. 2-for-2 day. A walk and a run scored, a triple and a run scored, and then a 2-run single in the 3rd inning for Peyton. And has started out as kind of a slow start for Peyton Tipton. He saw the ball well here in Game 2, and he is in Game 2's Claiborne, Los, and Sabres player of the game. Thank you so much for tuning in to all 4 games this weekend here in Rapid City. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, the Hardhats travel to Gillette to play the Gillette Riders on Wednesday evening at 5:30 local Mountain Time. We'll be on the air for the pregame show on Hardhats TV and Fox Sports Rapid City about 5:15, 5:20-ish Mountain Time for that one. I suspect just one 9-inning game over in Gillette, as they did when Gillette came to Rapid City. And then next weekend, doubleheader action next Saturday as the Hardhats host Cheyenne for a doubleheader Saturday and then one game on Sunday against Cheyenne. Thank you so much for tuning in. And the Hardhats big winners this weekend, going 4-for-4 and improving on their young season. Until Wednesday evening, my name is Adam Birch. Good night. Yep, I am.